Welcome to Cupcakes and Clarity, the podcast for high-achieving women who want success and fulfillment without burning it all down. I'm your host, Lisa Pirinelli, and every Tuesday I'm bringing you honest conversations and practical strategies to help you create more balance, purpose, and joy in your work and your life. Think of this as a heart-to-heart with a trusted friend. Together we'll get real about the challenges you face, and you'll leave every episode feeling clear, confident, and inspired to make your next chapter your best one yet. Welcome back to Cupcakes and Clarity. I'm Lisa Pirinelli. If you've ever felt the weight of knowing what matters but not letting yourself choose it, that's exactly what we were talking about in episode 2. And clearly it hit a nerve because that episode has become one of my most downloaded. And today I want to revisit that conversation, but not from a here are the steps place. And though I love giving practical steps, I think sometimes talking from a real life lived experience place really helps us to get to real solutions in a straighter line. Because clarity sounds simple, but in real life, it's layered, emotional, and sometimes uncomfortable. And if we're honest, sometimes the hardest part isn't knowing what matters. It's giving yourself permission to choose it. In episode 2, we talked about writing down your top 3 values. Not the ones that sound good, not the ones other people expect, the ones that are actually true for you right now. But here's what I've seen over and over in my coaching work. Most women already know, deep down, what matters most. They just don't trust themselves enough to honor it. They're high-functioning, capable, responsible. They are the ones people depend on. So even when they feel overwhelmed, stretched thin, quietly resentful, or just exhausted, they keep going because they can. But being capable and being aligned are not the same thing. And that gap, that's where burnout grows. So every episode I have a cupcake moment, and it's about finding joy in the chaos or the difficult. So let me tell you a quick story. A few weeks ago, I had one of those afternoons. Back-to-back calls, emails stacking up, dinner not planned, laundry staring at me like it had opinions. And I walked into the kitchen and saw a cinnamon cake donut sitting on the counter that I had baked for my daughter's playdate over the weekend. Just one left over. Now, normally, I would have either A, ignored it and thought, I don't need that, or I'll save that for her, or B, eaten it standing up while answering emails and then completely not even remembering that I inhaled it. But instead, I sat down, plated it, poured some coffee, no phone, and I asked myself one question. What do I actually need right now? What should I be doing? Not what's next on my list. What do I need? And the answer wasn't productivity. It was 5 minutes of breathing room. That treat wasn't about sugar. It was about permission. Clarity often starts in moments that small, because when you don't know what matters, everything feels urgent. But when you're clear, you can choose intentionally, even in the middle of chaos. So why does clarity feel so hard? Let's talk about the part we didn't go deep into in episode 2. Sometimes clarity feels scary. Because if you admit that your health matters most right now, you may have to disappoint someone. If you admit that your career needs to shift, you may have to risk change. If you admit that you're not as fulfilled as you quote unquote should be, you may have to confront something real. Clarity removes excuses, and that's powerful, but it can also feel destabilizing. And that's why so many women stay busy instead of clear. Busy keeps you distracted. Clarity asks you to decide. Recently, I worked with a client, we'll call her Sarah, and on paper, she was successful, smart, respected. She's a small business owner who had built something really solid. But when she came to me, she felt foggy. Not failing, not in crisis, just unsettled. Her friends had told her, "You're doing great," or "You just need a vacation. Be grateful." And they meant well. But what she needed wasn't encouragement to push through. She needed someone to sit in the gray with her. And in our sessions, we slowed everything down. Instead of asking, "What's your next move?" we asked, "What actually matters most to you in this season? Not 5 years from now, now." As we worked through it, she realized something huge. She wasn't tired of her business. She was tired of running it in a way that didn't match her values anymore. Her top priorities had shifted, but her structure hadn't, and that misalignment was draining her. So after our work together, this is what she said. "I feel clear and I trust my decision." That was her core shift. Not "I doubled my revenue," not "I have it all figured out." "I feel clear and I trust my decision." If you've been waiting to feel that way, that's not a someday thing. That's exactly the work. And then she said something that stuck with me. She said, "I didn't realize how much I needed someone who could hold space for me without trying to fix me." That's the difference. Friends and family love you, but they often either reassure you too quickly or project their own fears onto your decisions. They don't necessarily have the tools to help you separate emotion from alignment. And clarity requires empathy and strategy, both. So let's make this more tangible. When you're unclear, your thoughts sound like, "I don't know what I want," or "I should be happier." Maybe I'm just overthinking. "I don't want to make the wrong decision." And when you're clear, even before anything changes externally, your thoughts shift to, "This matters most right now." That doesn't align. I can say no, I can move forward. Notice something. Clarity doesn't eliminate fear. It reduces noise. And when the noise goes down, confidence goes up. Let me pause here for a second. If you're not in crisis, you're just in the fog, that's exactly the space I work in. We untangle the mental clutter. We eliminate decision fatigue. We identify what actually matters. And we separate outside expectations from internal truth. And most importantly, we build the confidence to act on it. In my work with clients, usually over the course of a few months, this shift around feeling clear and confident to make the decisions that matter most happens most often. If you want that kind of support, we'll figure out what you're actually organizing your life around and whether it matches what you say matters most. You can book a free consultation at lisapirinelli.com/connect. We'll talk about where you're feeling stuck and whether working together makes sense for you. Don't have to figure it out all alone. Okay, let's keep going. Sometimes misalignment doesn't scream, it whispers. You feel irritated by small things. You procrastinate on tasks you used to enjoy. You scroll instead of decide. You fantasize about change but don't move. Those are clues. You know that feeling when you're scrolling at 10 p.m. and you're not even looking for anything? That's not laziness. That's a woman who knows somewhere underneath that something needs to shift, but hasn't given herself permission to name it yet. Your energy log, which is something we talked about in episode 2, becomes even more powerful here because energy doesn't lie. If something consistently drains you, it's worth exploring. Not immediately quitting, exploring. Clarity is curiosity before it's action. And I say this gently, especially if you're high achieving, you are capable of figuring things out. But self-awareness has blind spots. You cannot read the label from inside the jar. When you're in it, your thoughts feel true. Coaching isn't about someone telling you what to do. It's about someone helping you see what you can't see on your own. That's why my client's friends couldn't give her what she needed. They weren't wrong. They just weren't trained to hold space and ask the right questions. So if we circle back to step 1, which is in episode 2, the getting clear on what matters most, here's the deeper version. Instead of asking, what are my top 3 values? Ask, what am I currently organizing my life around? Because those 2 answers aren't always the same. Are you avoiding your life around avoiding conflict or keeping everyone happy, maintaining your image? Or are you focused on things that actually matter? That question alone can shift everything. Clarity without permission creates frustration. Clarity with permission creates change. You are allowed to redefine success. You're allowed to adjust your pace, shift your priorities. You're allowed to outgrow previous goals. You're allowed to want something different. And that doesn't make you flaky, ungrateful, unsuccessful, or any other negative category you're attaching to your identity. It makes you self-aware. And self-aware women make powerful decisions. Sarah's comment that she didn't realize she had needed someone to hold that space for her created a profound awareness that she was waiting for permission from someone in her inner circle to show true empathy and say, yeah, this is hard. Yes, this is normal. And yes, you can give yourself permission to feel this way and have these thoughts. It's not that her family and friends didn't care. They said all the things in their own capacity of a communication toolbox. But they can't do that from a clean space. They have their own experiences, thoughts, fears, limiting beliefs, and connection to the outcome from her decisions. That all feeds into how they offer support. It is not unbiased. And as much as we all wish we weren't looking for external validation, it is normal to want it. It is also okay to acknowledge when you haven't received it, and then remember your own strength and incredible skills at making decisions for what matters most to you. Once you allow yourself permission, you can move forward. And episode 2 was about identifying what matters most. This episode is about honoring it, because clarity isn't just a mindset shift. It's a turning point. It's the moment you say, I'm not going to keep running on autopilot. And if you need someone in your corner while you do that, someone who can offer empathy and strategy, that is the work I love doing. Until next time, here's what I want you to try. Tonight, ask yourself, if nothing changed externally, what decision would feel most aligned right now? Just notice what comes up. You don't have to act immediately. Clarity begins with noticing. It's awareness. And sometimes it begins with sitting down, plating that donut, and giving yourself 5 intentional minutes. Thanks for joining me today. I so appreciate your time, and I pray each episode truly encourages you and you find our time together in service of what is most important to you. Until next time, thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Cupcakes and Clarity. If today's conversation inspired you and you'd like even more tips and strategies tailored to your life, go to lisapirinelli.com/resources for more self-guided tools. And if you're ready for personal support to help you navigate what's holding you back, I'd love to meet you. Head over to lisapirinelli.com to schedule your free consultation call. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much if you shared it with a friend or leave a quick review. Until next time, here's to creating more clarity, confidence, and joy in your life, one cupcake at a time.